It makes her happy.
Mhm.
Memory is full for a minute. Craig started.
The folders probably need cleaned out. It'll catch it on.
All right, I tried.
Thank you.
Watch for wine item.
I'll do it. I promise.
Oh, I know.
She can verify.
The folder out every once in a while.
All right, seeing that it is 4:30 in the afternoon, we will call the Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library Board of Trustees to order. It's August 8th, 2024. The first item of business is the forum for visitors, and I do not believe we have any. Next one is the correspondence. The yellow folder's got some correspondence in it. It's going that way. So when everybody gets a chance to look at that. Then we have the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented. There's a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion?
I do have a question about the director's report. Very interested in hearing more about John Drone and the Staff Olympics.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I think I am.
Yeah.
So Staff Olympics is a staff engagement, staff morale. It kicked off at our spring staff day. You should request offline to watch the kickoff video, which is humorous. As the torch was brought down to staff day for our staff to take up many different library activities. Last Friday evening, the staff held their first Library Olympics evening here at Central, and there will be another next Friday on the 16th. There's all kinds of different games, sports, if you will, that people can get involved in. They can do them as a team. You can do them as individuals. You don't have to come to one of the events to participate. And the final medal ceremony will be at our fall staff day.
I read that. So did that idea originate with John?
It originated actually with Kelly McDaniel, our programming librarian.
Awesome. So-
And Erica had some great ideas as well. And so from their brains to all of us to contribute.
That's great.
John's just one of the committee members.
Okay, great.
Additional questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Governance. Brett, you have a,
The first item is the commitment to join the Indiana State Library Consortium for Public Library Internet Access. I submit this each year because I'm required to do this. It's the same form every year. This is for the next calendar year. By agreeing to this commitment, it allows the library to get our 80% E-rate funding, which amounts to approximately this time $90,000 a year. We agreed to filter all computers and fund the internet access and a couple other requirements, but I'm asking the board to agree this consortium.
So moved.
motion
Second?
and second. Any questions? Is it the same agreement as last year?
It's the same one for the next calendar year.
Any additional questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Please appoint a secretary pro tem so they can sign it twice.
Dr. Huff, would you like to be the secretary pro tem for this meeting?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Everybody else just, you guys need to sign it too and then send it to them. All right, Brett, internet policy renewal.
This also is something that I'm required to present each year. The Indiana State Library requires us to review our internet acceptable use policy, which is a policy that the customers see when they sign on to public computers or Wi-Fi. It basically says we are not responsible for the content of the information received by the customer. The customer has to abide by copyright regulations, that we filtered computers, and that we're not responsible for any identity theft. This is the same policy I submitted last year. I didn't see any changes were needed, but I asked that the board agree that we post this policy for public computer use and public Wi-Fi use.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any discussion, questions? You answered mine.
Okay.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Finance report, Lori.
Last week on the first, I sent out the packet of budget information for 2025 proposed budgets. And it was also in your board book packet. And I'm just gonna start off with the what I call the cover sheet, which is the presentation of the 2024 versus 2025 proposed budgets. This year, the state had its second year of a capped maximum growth quotient, which was 4%. So we have to keep our budgets under 4% growth, and that will include our levy that we'll present next month at the public hearing of our budgets and tax levies then. So you can see our operating fund, we're increasing 3.54% from last year. Our bond interest and redemption, this is based on our repayment schedule for 22, 23 bonds and anticipated 2024 bonds this year. And that went up 13% because, as with previous two bonds, we do a large lump sum payment at the beginning in the first year that helps us get that paid down a little bit quicker as we move through the years. Our library improvement reserve fund will be $250,000, same as last year. The rainy day fund, we decreased a small amount to help offset some increases within the operating fund, because we have to make sure all 5 of these budgets actually stay within that 4%. So it's not each one 4%, but a total of the 5. And then our special library fund, which we levy taxes for Willard, and this is their proposed budget approved by their board, going up 4.18%. So in total, for all 5 funds, we have estimated a 3.66% increase. I will note that we received some new information within the past 7 days. Actually, it was in the past 2, but the state posted their our county's assessed values and also the anticipated or estimated property taxes and other miscellaneous tax revenues that we could expect for next year. And they were much higher than what Baker Tilly had calculated in our original repayment schedule for our bond interest redemption, especially that first year's. The prior 2 years are set, but for the 2024 first year payment. So we have looked at that, and we will submit some additional information to you tomorrow and have that available to you to ask questions before our next meeting. Basically, we had to increase our bond interest and redemption payment for 2025, so that budget went up. And then we took the money to offset that increase because we were so close to the 4% out of LRF and rainy day. So that did not affect our operating fund, and it did not affect, of course, Willard's is what they presented to us. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. The other documents in your packet include the operating fund line item budgets with trends over the past 5 years and a comparison to the 2024 budget. And then we have what we call the summary sheet of the proposed library operating budget. So you can see what each line item entails, what gets paid out of that particular line item, if there was any major trend or event or activity coming out in 2025. And then as well, our miscellaneous information, so you can see where our library improvement reserve fund currently sets for 2024. And again, we'll be adjusting our 2025 proposed budget slightly for LRF. Rainy day is the same. And then the last page that you received was the proposed budget for Willard that their board approved. Are there any questions?
Just understanding a little bit about the assessed value, so I kind of understand it to be, I guess that's coming in somewhere between 7.5% and 8%, right?
So yes, and the original estimate that Baker Tilly was using in calculating our bond interest redemption repayment for the 2024 anticipated bond was 5%,
Okay.
and it went up 7.9 or almost 8%.
Okay, so those are increasing, but since we're capped at 4%, we can't recoup any of that other assessed value, right?
Correct.
Okay.
This also ensures that our bond, our debt service tax rate remains neutral, that it doesn't go up. That was the other calculation, the recalculation that we,
Oh, okay, remain tax. neutral.
yes, so we
Gotcha.
remain tax neutral on our debt service
Gotcha.
fund.
I don't have any other questions. And this is information.
This is information only. This is our first reading, and like I said, after the first reading, we can go back and revise, and we will revise those three budgets that I mentioned, funds we mentioned, and get that out to you so you can see what that adjustment looks like.
Are we at investments or appropriations?
Appropriations page here real quick. For the end of July 2024, our operating budget appropriation balance is $8,062,515 and change, or approximately 48% of the budget remaining. Our investment activity as of July 31st, 2024, has a balance for all four funds of $15,913,300. The average daily yield for July was 5.3383%, or up 0.08% since June, and 5.3673 average daily yield year to date, down 0.06% since June.
Any question for Lori? Approval of bills. Treasurer Musgrave.
Yes. For the past month or so, it looks like we have total invoices of $532,514.15. And we've had two payrolls, one for $346,201.40 and $509,667.43 just before the end of the month. I'd ask that all of those be approved by the board.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Other business. Lamont?
Good afternoon. I'm bringing to you change order number 5 for the McCullough project. This was to add some can lights back in the children's area. Once all of the construction was done, we did notice that it was a little bit dark in one little spot, so we added some can lights, and then there was also a credit on this same change order. I believe it was for something out of the parking lot. So for a total of $2,589 added to the total price of the McCullough project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Hear a motion? Seconded. Any questions, discussion?
Just a quick discussion. How long till we're done with the renovation?
So we're currently sitting on the parking lot. We've been delayed by weather, but significantly delayed by weather. They cleared it and it was beautiful with that nice dirt ground, and it rained every day, and they just got the water cleared off for the 5th time. So hopefully curbs are going down this week. Hopefully we'll get the concrete on the parking lot next week, but I can't make any promises with weather and all that. After that, the only thing we really have left is to put up the fence behind our property between the condominiums and the library, and then we should pretty much, and the sign. That's right. I forgot the sign is coming. It's we roughed in the electric and the comm for it the other day when the electricians came out to put in these lights. So we're hoping it would wrap up within, I don't remember what she said on the sign. It's still,
It takes a minute for the big monument sign to come in, but it's already included in the budget, so there's no change order there and everything. So
hopefully the rest of it will be hopefully done within the next couple weeks.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Foundation liaison report.
Yes, sir. The Evansville Public Library Foundation Board met 4:30 PM on July 17th, 2024. We had the investment report from Volkman at Pettinga. With their well-diversified account, the Charles Schwab account come in at $972,834.55 as of June 30. I don't know what it's done this week, but I'm sure the volatility has made some movement in that account. But like I said, it's well diversified. So we had the approval of minutes. We had a financial report from Lori Tomlin, the year-to-date report of finances, statement of activity, and statement of position. Scott Kinney gave the ex officio report on facilities and programs updates. We talked about outreach and fundraising, and the 2024 book sale, which happened this past Saturday and Sunday, and I'm very pleased to say raised. The number I heard was like 24,000 plus. Is that after expenses or is that before expenses? That's before expenses, but it was a huge success, well attended. And I really want to shout out Emily, Eric Wire, Justin, Robin, Becca, and the marketing team. Everybody made this a huge success, and it takes so much work to get these volunteers together and to have those book sales, put the tables out, bring the books out, keep bringing books out, answer questions of all the folks who are coming up, taking credit cards, taking cash. And like I said, $24,000 that's going to go back into library programming is a great thing. For new business, we heard a submittal for the project for an Evansville Oral History Archive project from Heather O'Grady, and it was a ask of a consideration to fund that or part of that from the foundation, which they'll continue to consider. We set the 2025 book sale dates for March 8 and 9, August 2nd and 3rd, and November 8 and 9. And then we discussed the central one-day bound magazine sale. And you can get your own copy of the bound TV guides. My copy is August 30th through October 17th of 1986. So if you're looking for a bound copy of TV Guide or any other types of magazines, I'm to understand some of them have already gone, but that date will be set for that sale. And then we discussed the 2023 tax return form 990, which was subsequently reviewed and signed off on, right? Did Eric came in and signed it? All right. Be happy to answer any questions anyone does have.
Software, you missed the most fun part of it. Dang it.
The new software,
We got a
did I
new,
miss that?
I don't know, it should be on there.
I thought that was outreach and fundraising. Isn't the new software part of outreach? for
Either
that?
way, we got a new fundraising platform that will really enhance how we take donations, how we market some of our receptions and take ticketing and include it all on one platform. We started this week, kicked off with an onboarding. It's a very user-friendly platform, unlike what we are going away from. So we're very excited, and I'm working to import our data now. So
That's something we've been working on since I came on the
yes,
foundation board.
yeah, so very excited about it.
Yep.
I'm very excited about it, so.
Thank you. I was dying to know what that was, looking at it. TV guy.
It's a beautiful
I
bound.
love
concept.
TV guy.
Well, you
Well,
can get your
I
own
bet that's
copy.
great reading right there.
You have your own copy.
I think what would have been hot on TV in 83. It was
86,
86.
Alf. Alf.
I love that. Alien life form.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Moving on. Staff spotlight. Scott?
No staff spotlight this month, but we will have programming next month to give you the summer reading celebration wrap up, which was tremendous this year. And I don't want to steal any of their thunder, so, but that's who we'll have next month.
Are you going to introduce our guest from?
I can introduce our guests. With us today, we have George Carter, the director from the Willowwood Library.
Are you just joining us because you're interested or
Budget.
budget? Make sure we didn't have any really difficult questions. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If I'd have known you were being here, I'd have come up with a tough one. All right, announcements.
Just a couple for you. Just wanted to let you know, you don't see Joshua here tonight. Joshua is now working in our reference department and will be getting his MLS and will be becoming a reference librarian. He is a reference librarian, but will be getting his degree. Also wanted to echo Rick's thoughts and appreciation to all those volunteers and staff that worked the book sale. Again, another tremendous book sale. I know Eric Wire was thrilled with how everything came out, and they always do such a great job and such a great community service. So we appreciate all that. And again, from the marketing staff, please review your monthly events. There's lots of great stuff coming up as always, and always looks really good. Layout, and the programming staff, library staff do a great job of having very creative programming and offerings for our community. So I just wanted to make sure that you take a look at that as well.
I do. I think this is an awesome publication. And I just flipped it open and I saw family dance party. You going, right?
Yes, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Oh, I just got told to remind you, invite you to speak September 10th is our next event. It should also probably has a spot in
Spot
there,
in
I'm
there.
sure. But it will be. Yeah, September 10th, 7 o'clock.
What time?
7 PM. We also, that one has a special, we've invited some nonprofits to the next morning to do a special section with Dr. Anthony DeBenedet about play in the workplace. And so we reached out to many of our partners, and he's doing a special workshop the next morning as well.
Thank you.
How Erica's watching, because she was like, don't forget this.
Any
Hey, Erica.
additional announcements?
I do have a kind of a question or something I was going to ask the board to ponder. I had mentioned this to Scott, but I was wondering about traveling board meetings. One of the things I really appreciated was going out as part of the Building and Grounds Committee and seeing and meeting other staff member at the various branches and seeing what's going on at other branches and being available there. And I wondered about taking our board meetings to some of the various other meeting places. I think we only announce our board meetings one at a time. We haven't announced where they'll be for the rest of the year. We have.
We
Do it once a
Once a
year.
year,
Once a
yeah, so we discussed maybe
Maybe
when we
January.
bring your whole schedule to you in December, that we would kind of put those in for next year if you guys were open to that.
If you'd like to do that. Yeah, we were just talking about it this afternoon.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think
Yep.
that would be fantastic. I mean, for me, the logistics are pretty easy to show up anywhere. The setting up of the meeting is a little different story and I
Yeah.
recognize that, so.
Yep.
We'll leave it in your hands to come up with a schedule that makes sense.
we'll bring it to you in December.
Excellent. Any other announcements? Bob, did you wanna?
Yeah, going over the budget, I was wondering whether it might be a good idea for the board to have an executive meeting to discuss maybe broader perspectives on wages, salaries, personnel issues. Wouldn't have to do it with the same day as a board meeting, but sometime the next few weeks, it'll get us started for what we might want to do going into next year.
I'm okay with it. All right, do we want to try to set a date now or do that by email when everybody's got their calendars? Totally up to you.
What are the requirements for notification?
It has to be in the newspaper 48 hours before the meeting, and it usually takes us 4 days
To get it advertised.
To
for
get
the
it-
Courier
to
Press?
get it on that date, yep. So you're looking at a week.
This isn't anything that's super pressing.
No.
So, you know, if we were looking at the last week of the month or
Even next month.
early September sometime. Maybe if we circulate some dates
Yeah.
via email to everybody and let's find a time that works for everybody and it's convenient and we can set aside a little time to have a good discussion.
Sounds great.
Any additional announcements? Otherwise, then I will call for the adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? I didn't hear any. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.